Welcome to Bridging the Generational Gap. My name is Garth Sharif, and this is a big topic of conversation, and generally a big topic of conversation, working with different or diverse generational cohorts. And generally the youngest generational cohort is the one that is most talked about. So currently, Millennials, Generation Z or Z, depending if you're American or Canadian, on its way. And just recently, they named the next generation after Generation Z or Z, Generation Alpha. And they're very young at this stage. So when we talk about generations and working with different generational cohorts, baby boomers, we're going to talk about the segmentation, baby boomers, Generation X, millennials. Generally, we talk about it in terms of potential misunderstandings and conflict. So we're going to do something a little differently when we talk about this subject of working with different generational cohorts within a team or organization. We're going to first look to understand what might be the differences or the reason for the differences before we get into solving problems or solving conflict that we think might come out of the fact that someone is a different age or of a different generation than us. Now, behind me, you'll see a picture represented that shows the silent generation, baby boomers, Generation X, millennials, Generation Z or Z, and Generation Alpha, all represented behind me. That is my family, which I tend to use a lot in these courses. And when I look at that picture, I mean, there's a lot of joy. That was my father's 75th birthday at the Mandarin's buffet restaurant. He loves buffet restaurants, so we went there. And I see a great diversity of knowledge and experience because individuals in my family were born at different points with different cultural events, different technologies, different things going on in history. But of course, there is conflict. And we can look to those conflicts based on generational divides within my family. Now, we're going to talk about this in a work context. So what's the challenge here when we see a conflict or a challenge to working with somebody or what somebody's doing because you feel that they are younger or older than you or from a different decade? And one of the challenges that we're going to talk about are stereotypes. Now, stereotypes are human. They're used by us to make quick judgments in very specific or small time frames. But those quick judgments could be wrong because we're not taking in a lot of data. We're only taking in a couple of things. A person's age, when they were born, judgment call. And the question is, even if the judgment call is correct, because stereotypes are based on our perception of what it might mean, a certain attribute, again, the year they were born, the types of TV shows that they watch, the way they interact with technology, is that stereotype, is that quick value judgment helpful to build relationships and solve problems?